Thanks, Teeny. That's just, it's beautiful. I'm gonna see. Yesterday I had the main room light on, and I kind of think it looked better. I'm gonna try that. Yeah, I think it is actually better. Even though the light's coming from behind me, it's shining right on my head. So maybe it's better. Wow. Didn't mean to do that. Okay. Random mouth sounds. Love it. Okay. We're about ready. Going pretty well. Yeah. The day's okay. Annoying work bugs that I, wasn't super into, but other than that, just life. How are you? At the library. Cool. Are you in university, T? I can't remember. I feel like you are. I feel like I've heard you mention school and stuff. Or maybe you can just say you're in school. I mean, you don't have to tell me. You don't have to answer any of these questions. Okay, good deal. I mean, I figured that you weren't super young, considering, well, you don't act like you're like really young, and you have money to subscribe to people. So I was assuming that you were not like, pre-university or something. But you just never know. It's like we had Justice drop in a few streams ago, and it turned out that he was like about to go to university next year, which is fine, but it was kind of like, oh, okay, I kind of forget sometimes that people I'm talking to could literally be like teenagers. Anyway, yeah, good times. Very cool. Very cool. Okay. I think we are ready. I forgot to change my stream info. Let me do that. Probably should have kept the starting soon banner on, because it's not like I've actually started coding yet, but that's okay. That's okay. Alright. think we're gonna do a queue today. You're at the uni for like 9 years. Yeah, I was on that path once. I ended up dropping out of grad school, but that was also like another lifetime ago. And it was a philosophy degree that I was working towards, a master's degree in philosophy. So yeah, random stuff. I think I'm glad that I didn't do it. Like, I did the first year and I didn't even take a full course load for the master's program that I was doing. Because I think I would have felt a lot more pressure to actually use it. And I think I'm much happier being a software developer in my cozy home than I would be being like a college professor somewhere. So yeah, you know, sometimes things work out. Cool. DoublyLinkedList done. Dunsies. Okay, so let's switch to code. I did manage to figure out how to get around the stupid malicious software quarantine BS that macOS imposes. It definitely brought up an interesting discussion that's been happening on the Alacrity project around the fact that, of course, Alacrity is free software, and they did not want to have to pay, they didn't want to pay Apple for the right to sign their software, basically, in a secure way. So yeah, that's Alacrity terminal is what I'm talking about. So yeah, I don't know. It's fair. And then users were saying, here, let me see if I can just find it, because then I'll just put it in there. I think it's an interesting conversation. Like, whether I don't have like strong opinions on either, but I think it's an interesting conversation. Like, because Alacrity, there it is. I'll just share it real quick on screen just for reference, in case people don't really care too much. But yeah, it's basically like essentially the conversation is, why would you say you support Apple when we're required to do this thing? And I think that's a difference. Like, the creator of the project, or one of the main maintainers, basically said there's a difference between distribution and support. And I was like, that's fair. I think that's fair. So basically it just means that in order to use Alacrity on a Mac, you have to know enough about how Mac's quarantine works, or Google it, in order to bypass the whole quarantine business. So, yep, good times. Okay, so let's go in here. DSA. Let's just open our linked list. I mean, a doubly linked list again. That'll let the LSP update. And I'm cold again, so I'm going to put a sweater on while that's running. BRB. That's better. I've got my hoodie on. I hit the mic. I don't think that was too loud. Okay. So we're good. I never put the hoodie on my head though. I don't actually like that. It bothers me. Very rare. At least with over-the-ear headphones on. It's too much for me. Pulls on my head. You know. Random autistic things. Awesome. So yeah, so we finished our doubly linked list, and now with that finished, we can actually use it to implement a queue. I figured we might as well actually use this to implement a queue rather than the standard libraries linked list, because it will also test it out and make sure that there's no bugs, etc. Right? So let's go ahead and do that. So we'll just open a new file. All right, give me a second here. Silly closure. You can tell I was actually writing code at work today. Open a closure file right away. Nice, love it. Yeah, let's just run with this, you know. com.metame.dsa.q, and let's just go, you know. I'm just kidding. Okay, let's get rid of this buffer. Kill anyway. Yes, please kill the buffer. Okay, let's try that again with the right extension. Let's see, and we need this. Good times. What don't you like about it? Is it really me? This always happens to me and I'm just like always annoyed. Okay. Let's add it to our lib. I think that's right. Did I do this backwards? Is that what it's saying? Yeah, I think I did. Why can't I just like, I literally could not figure it out. There we go. Alright, so let's start by talking about what our queue actually is. So a queue. What is a queue? A queue is pretty simple. Basic queue. Obviously, you can do it a couple different ways, but a basic queue has, you mean, basically we're looking for a first in, first out, right? So we want to FIFO. We want to FIFO it. So different than our stack, which is like a LIFO, right? Last in, first out. And so this is very similar, of course, to e.g. SQS queues, Rabbit MQ. I mean, obviously those things support, you know, Rabbit MQ especially can support different ways of doing this, but basically most of the time you're going to do the first in, first out. So in order to make first in, first out actually efficient, it means that we need to easily be able to add things on one end and remove things on the other. So typically let's see, how do they, I'm kind of spacing on one aspect of this, which basically just the normal, like, do they usually call it a head or a tail? I'm spacing on whether they call it. I didn't write that in. Okay, yeah, Q's it tail, DQ's it head. Okay. That's fine. That's fine. That makes sense, I guess. Q's it tail, DQ's it head. Okay. So you have your method Q, and this adds to tail, and you have your method DQ, and that removes from head. Okay. Good times. And that's it. We did it. Now, so you can see how easy this is probably going to be given our linked list implementation, right? So if we go back to our linked list, we already have pushback and we have pop front. So it's pretty much just a matter of wrapping those two things. Obviously, I could re-implement a linked list, you know, instead of using one under the hood. But since we already implemented one, it's mostly just to understand what the queue is and to say that we did it, you know, a little bit, right? So we're gonna just use create, I don't remember what I called it, DoublyLinkedList, right? So we're gonna go DublyLinkedList, DubLinkedList. Okay. So we have that. We're going to have, what is this? What did I just do? I pressed Control A. What does Control A do? It just looks like it pastes. All right, sorry, I got a little carried away. Control A in insert mode apparently pastes. How about that? Okay, so we're gonna have pub struct Q over T, and let me think what I care about. Like, do we really care about having a different length? So a lot of times a linked list would not. So we'll just do this, even though for the most part it's just going to grab the linked list length. So a lot of times you don't implement a length on a linked list, but on a queue it's nice to know what the size of your queue is, right? I'd say it's more common to call this size, but it doesn't really matter. We can just call it size to be special. So that's going to be a use size, and sure, we can make that pub, and then we're going to just say list is a linked list T that we own, right? And that's probably all that we're gonna need. I guess we'll find out. So if we impl for T, impl T for QT, and we're gonna have our pub Q. I guess a new might be helpful. Is there anything that, no, there's nothing that we're going to so I've been specifying QT and stuff like this here, and I guess most people do like self instead. I don't know. I think it's just from starting in JavaScript and not wanting to use this. And Java, of course, can be also problematic overusing this, but a lot less though than JavaScript, right? Knowing what this is in JavaScript is a lot harder. So I think sometimes I have these irrational dislikes of self-referential keywords like self-referential keywords like self. How about that? So realistically, I should probably just call it self, but that's okay. And it's already complaining because that's not what I called it. It's a DubLinkedList, right? Okay. Good times. So all we have to do here is init with size 0 and list is gonna be our DubLinkedList new. Can I do it? Am I actually gonna do it right this time? Wait, I did well, definitely not with a semicolon at the end, right? Okay. Why don't you like this? What do you hate about me? What did I do wrong? Expected an item. I always forget the function keyword on my first method for an impl. I love doing that. I love it. I absolutely love it. Okay. Impl T4? Is that what? Oh, you don't need that for, right, when you do this? Is that what it is? Impl TQT? Okay. Okay. What are you saying now? Oh, right, I did debug. Sure. We'll keep it as debug for now. We'll keep it as debug just to keep it simple. For debugging. How about that? Did I really screw up the new T thing? I tried so hard. I tried so hard. Alright. Why can't I ever remember the syntax? It takes 0 generic arguments, but I supplied 1? Are you sure about that? That doesn't make sense, does it? Where are we in our... Oh my gosh, I did it wrong. Why can't I remember this one thing? I think it was even Teeny that sent me that link, and I still can't do it. It makes sense, because it doesn't make sense that I would... Like, you need this. Obviously, you should be calling your function with the parens. Why don't I remember that? Annoying. Annoying. So yeah, it's pretty dumb that I forget that still. But hey, you know what? I implemented a DoublyLinkedList in Rust, so, you know. So try that before you make fun of me. All right. Good times. There is something that I think is more of I mean, I don't know. I don't know if other people would agree with me. I mean, you know, I should. That's an obvious statement, but there is something that I feel like is more of a senior mentality, which is understanding like the things that are actually problematic. What I'm trying to say is it's actually a very like junior slash teenager not to say that those are the same things, but like it would be a very common thing. I can just imagine some Rust guy coming into the stream and being like, yeah, you don't even know this one thing. And then it's like, and I'm not saying like, wow, look at me, I'm amazing, but like and then that person not being able to actually like write difficult code with any sort of, well, we'll just leave it at that. I don't know how to explain it. I probably didn't explain it very well. Looks like my chat thing's a little off. Let me try to fix this. Let me try to fix this. We need it. Should be here, I think. Okay. It's a little bit better. Yeah, I think that's what it is. It's like you can memorize the syntax for something and be like, oh, well, obviously I know this, this, and this, right? Versus understanding what's actually happening in a program or what syntax is actually doing or, you know, that sort of thing. Yeah, I think that's a good way of putting it, Teeny. I think that's kind of what I was going for. Okay, so let's do a queue, and queue is going to take an and mute self, and it is going to take a value. We'll just call it item, and it's going to return nothing, aka unit. So this should be pretty straightforward. We're adding it to the tail. So all that we should have to do, let's see if this works, is just say self.list.pushback item, and self.len plus equals 1. Okay, how's that look? I didn't call it len. I called it size. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, this is gonna be a really, really boring stream if this is all that happens. We'll have to figure out something else to do. And then DQ is gonna give us a T, and I mean, because we're essentially implementing a queue over something that provides all of our interfaces for us, but that's okay. We'll write some tests, see that this works, and then I don't know what I want to do next after that. I'll have to think about it. Yeah, let's wait until it compiles, right? I know, this is classic me, right? Oh yeah, this is going so easy. Okay. Right, and this should be actually an option of T. Now since I know this provides me an option, whoops. I'm trying to do something. Yeah, I can just use that, but we'll just see if self.size equals 0. You know, I don't remember doing this in my other implementation in the linked list. I'll have to look. I'll have to make sure that I'm not decrementing past 0. If self.size equals, no, it does not equal, right? Does not equal 0. Then self.len minus equals 1. I could have made that. Oh my god, I did len again. And I did another silly thing in Rust, which is I added parens when I don't need to. Okay. That looks fine. First try. I mean, this is that simple, right? Because we already implemented our linked list. It's really simple. But let's just write some tests. And it will be interesting. Now let's check. Should we check that out in the linked list real quick? I think we should do that. I don't remember. See, I did this pop back here, but let's try this test. Well, let's first make sure tests are passing here. They should be. Okay, tests are passing. And then cert. Wait, no, actually I just want to say l.pop back and assert eq self dot, not self. This should still be 0. l.len. I think I forgot about this. No, I didn't. Okay. I thought I did. That's funny. I just assumed that I forgot that conditional. What did I do to not do this? Where's pop? Pop back. Okay, right. I just did an early return if self.len equals 0. That's reasonable. I don't know why I didn't do that here. I guess because I was thinking, oh, you know, this is handling that for me. I mean, it's true, but I also kind of don't like this in a way. I mean, it's fine. It's fine. It's different. It's a different way of doing it. I don't love it, but it's not like it's terrible. Okay. Well, it'd help if I went into insert mode and we did config test. I think that's it. Again, one of those things I forget still. Config test. Yes. Okay. Config test, mod tests, and test function q works. Just get more of that out of the way. And let's just make sure that we like what we see. So we have our queue. You know, even if you hate single letter variables, you have to admit, when you work with a queue, the single letter variable of queue is still really good. It's one of those exceptions. I feel like, even if you don't like single letter variables, which honestly I don't mind single letter variables, but I know people have mixed feelings about them. Well, some people don't have mixed feelings. They're just extremely strongly opinionated. Okay. So let's see. We want to have a queue of no, we'll just do U size. Let's do I size, right? It depends, yeah. For me, it definitely depends. There's code that, you know, obviously benefits from being very expressive, and there's code that doesn't. Shocking. Okay, so we have a queue new, and now let's add something to it. Well, let's first do our quick check here. That if we call queue.dequeue, that our length, or our size in this case, is still 0. Oh my god, it keeps writing self. Queue.size. Okay, that looks good. And then if we queue an item, let's do -34. Love it. Then we should see that our size has gone up. And then queue -34, so queue1 queue.size, yeah. And it's, I mean, something we could implement on our queue is a peak. Let me think. We could do that because we implemented the get on our option. So you could do a peek of what's coming off the front. One of the nice things about the way that we implemented our linked lists get, which is not the best function ever, as we've discussed, is our peek method will pretty much just be looking at that first item anyway. But, you know, I don't know. Do I want to do it? Oh, we'll just keep going. We'll just keep going with our tests, and we can implement peek if we feel like it. Let's just add some more things. 45 sounds good, and we'll just add one more. Little keyboard mesh, and we're good. So again, we should see that our size is now at 3, and as we come off, since we have first in, first out, closure. Oh, little lispy action there. Okay, here we go. I don't have to put parentheses around everything. This is going to be a sum -34, which is EQ. And let's just do this. And this will be a 45. And this will be a, except not negative, 3049. Okay. I like it. This should be fine. And then we should see that 0 is our queue.size. And of course, if we do another DQ, we should still see this. All right, that's a reasonable small suite of tests. Use of undeclared type Q. Oh, that's what I forgot. That might help. Also might help if we made our Q mutable. Okay, I think that takes care of that. Sweet. Hey. Again, we didn't do anything amazing today so far. But we were able to, it was basically a first try, right? This is the probably the first time in this series that I can say first try. Good times. I expected this to be pretty darn easy. Let's just go ahead and add a peak just for fun. So since we're there, peak is looks at next value in Q without consuming. Right? Should be right. And one of the nice things about Rust is we know we're not going to consume anything, at least with something like this, because we're not passing a mutable reference to self, right? We're just passing a reference to self. It's kind of a nice Rust win there, if you will. Does that not work? The trait bound T clone is not satisfied. Right. Yeah. So this is similar to the other thing, and so we can just say where T is clone. Okay. We like it. And now, when we have no elements, we should have an EQ of none when we say Q peak. And then that's something I didn't do that I should have done here, is I should have just made this an assert over none. Okay. And we kind of know that this is working the way we want it to because our pop worked in the right order. But, you know, if we wanted to, we could more like testing another test of the logic, you could say, is after we queue our first item, we should be able to say some -34, queue that peak, and that should work. And then can't remember if I did that or not. Actually, that's why I didn't do it, because it was going to be faster to do it this way. Yay. So yeah, there's peak. That works. Cool. So let's just go ahead and commit that. Oh, wrong terminal. Yeah. Let me exit out of iTerm and get into Alacrity. Okay, first time using Alacrity. So Alacrity is a OpenGL terminal written in Rust. A lot of people I know like it. So I thought I'd try it out. One of the nice things is, unlike iTerm, which I currently use, of course, like it would be nice to have a platform agnostic terminal that I enjoy, so that when I do switch on back to Linux, which is my desire, I can easily, you know, switch over everything. You never thought of it. Yeah, right. I mean, that's kind of what I'm looking for, honestly. I didn't hate Warp except for all the problems with it. Like, if I was just using Warp, it was fine. Okay, kind of nice interface, blah, blah, blah. But, like, in a way, it kind of got more in my way than I really want my terminal to get. Like, I kind of just want to use a terminal and not think about it, honestly. Like, if I'm going to use a terminal and think about that I'm using a terminal, then I might as well use tmux, right? Like, if I'm going to learn a bunch of keyboard commands and get really good at using a terminal, in my opinion, you might as well be using tmux at that point. Because I don't think I have to explain that. Yeah, so what did I change on my linked list? Just a test? I think that's all I changed, right? Yeah. Okay, cool. Q, first try. Boom. All right. Sweet. Yay, we implemented a queue. What do I want to do? There's a couple things I've been thinking about. One is we haven't used Miri in a while. Right, I have to use nightly. Cargo plus nightly. There we go. Hey, PM Walls. Yeah, Vim and tmux is the way. I get it. I get it. Okay, so Miri is pretty confident that we don't have any memory leaks. Leaks. Not links, leaks. You know, sorry, English is my second language. Just kidding. Embarrassing. Embarrassing talking out loud. Yeah, Vim and tmux is the way. I don't disagree with you, PM Walls. My manager, he's not at my company anymore, but my original hiring manager, who's a very good coder, a lot of respect for him, very smart dude, went to MIT, pretty cool. He's like a few years older than me, so I guess he probably went to MIT I guess it could have been the early aughts, right around at the turn of the millennium. But yeah, anyway, he was all about the Vim and Tmux, and he knew them well, and he used them well. I haven't decided to have the will to learn Tmux yet, but you know, I'm only a couple months into Vim motions. Only a couple months. I'm still kind of a noob. Granted, this is Emacs, but it's with evil mode. What song is this? I kind of like it. It's different. It's different than a lot of my playlist. Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, that is something that I would like. There are ways to configure projects in Emacs, but I've never bothered doing it. Yeah, exactly. Like where like Tmux sessions, like that's the whole point, right? So well, I'm really happy Miri didn't find anything. I mean, since we implemented our stack, we've only used safe code, so I kind of expected that we wouldn't have any memory leaks, but it's always nice to just double check. I mean, we're not doing any manual allocations. It's kind of the whole point of Rust. Not that it prevents all memory leaks exactly. That's not a goal. It's stated as a non-goal. But in general, it handles memory deallocation well. Otherwise, yeah, it's really. Oh no, I already read that. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, not being on VS Code has definitely been one of the better decisions. And even though, you know, like I've been using Emacs for 5 years now. Before that, mostly VS Code. I played around with other editors here and there. Oh yeah, I used Eclipse for Java. So that was probably the heaviest IDE I've ever used is Eclipse. I used IntelliJ once or twice. I don't know, but by that time I was already kind of like over IDEs. Yeah, totally. It makes sense. I mean, because they can control every aspect of it, right? I mean, it's really well done. Really well done, yeah. I feel that. Okay. I have been reading quite a bit about concurrency in Rust. Fearless. Oh god, I screwed that up. Try this again. Fearless concurrency. TM. Yeah. The in between concurrency and TM was probably suboptimal. So I was kind of interested in like how much Rust would complain about different things being moved between threads and stuff. So maybe that's what I want to do, is just explore some of that for a little bit today. How's that sound? Look into some concurrency. The most we've touched in concurrency for this project, besides, is in our stack implementation. Let's look at it here. We did this really hard thing of empling send and sync for stack. So something I didn't know when I wrote this is that I'm looking at code and not showing you guys code. Nice. Go me. Something I didn't know is that this is always an empty impl. It's basically just signaling to the compiler that yes, this is send and sync, and thus thread safe. But these traits are unsafe traits, right? Concurrency, by its nature, is unsafe. So that part's kind of interesting. I understand some of the basics of concurrency in Rust, which is really not necessarily concurrency in Rust, just concurrency in general. How to make something thread safe, etc. Yeah, I think maybe we'll just jump into a little bit of that. Partly the thing that I think is interesting that I wanted to discover is, like, if I take this and I go, let's just go into our normal linked list. Okay, so we're here. And if I go down here and I paste this, and of course, instead of stack, hold on. Okay, we're getting there. Okay, so instead of stack, I want linked list, and same here. Oops. No, I did write it. Okay, good deal. It's not going to complain to me about anything. Now, the reason that it's not complaining, though, is possibly only because these are unsafe. So let's just look at another example. What do we know about our DublyLinkedList? If anybody remembers, is we know that our DublyLinkedList is not thread safe. We know that because it's using an RC. So I was kind of interested in also trying it here. Let's see, is it still there? Nope. I deleted the U, so unfortunately not. All right, let's go back here. And we'll just do a little pasty there. And what? Sure. We'll do an s/link/dublink. And same thing here. And let's see. All right. Also built. I was expecting that. So even though I'm signaling to the compiler that, no, really, my double linked list is totally fine to move across threads, we know that it's not, because RC is not thread safe. Pretty interesting. So let's see if there's some nice way we could go about playing with this, and we'll probably have to do some Googling and stuff, because I don't always remember the syntax. But let's see. The problem is, no, I don't actually want that. The problem is this is a library. All right, see you, Teeny. Safe travels from the library to your home. Of course, I chose to do this as a library, which I somewhat regret right now, only because it would make it really easy to just jump into the main. And now I have to, like, install it. I don't remember how to do that. Oh well, we'll learn. We'll learn, right? I guess I could run tests. I could create a test directory and run like integration tests for my library. I think I can do that. I'm pretty sure that'll work. Let's find out. Okay. I don't remember how this works, so let's see. I know we do this in OpenDOL. OpenDOL? Are you not there? No, not OpenDOL. What is it called? Atomic. Atomic server. Server and tests. Okay, cool. All right. Sweet. So then we should just be able to do a make door tests, and we should be able to just put whatever tests in there that we want. Let's find out. No. Yes. What do we want to call these? Thread test.rs. Okay. And then I'm guessing we still need to do like this whole thing. Can I just do this? Function thread tests. Just as a test to see if this actually runs. It didn't build. Cannot glob import a module onto itself. Oh, okay. That makes sense. It's fine. We don't actually need this yet. Let's just see what happens here. Thread tests. Okay. Maybe you don't actually need this. I'm not sure. Nightshade dude. What's up? Thanks for the follow, man. I really appreciate it. And thanks for hanging out. Look at us. Look at us meeting our 80 follower goal. Amazing. It only took me 2 months. Which is fine. It's all good. Hey, how's it going? We have chatted together on many streams before. Yet I believe this is the first time we have met. Good times. We're just we're writing some tests. Let's see. I guess I should update my little stream info thing. We are testing out some concurrency stuff because implementing a queue was very dead simple because we already implemented a DoublyLinkedList like just a second ago. Hey, Pick. How are all these people joining this stream? I always wonder, like, when people find this stream, like, did I get raided and I just don't know it? And then I'm like, oh, what's happening? But yeah, that's just classic insecurity. Oh, she showed me on chat for a few. He was like, we could raid him, but no. He's such an asshole. He's such a jerk. Fair points, Walker. Fair point. That's funny. Well, hey guys, welcome. Almost verbatim. Yeah. I do give him an unbelievably hard time because he's so fun to troll. He's just like he's so fun. to troll. He's just so easy. He's like those easy targets. You're looking for a Pokemon stream. But yeah, Swalker's, he's so wholesome, you know, that it's just, whew, it's funny. We also grew up like 15 minutes away from each other, which, you know, we pretend is a big deal even though it was Southern California. So like, you know, there's millions of people, but still 15 minutes, man, that's crazy. It's maybe a little crazy, I don't know. What are we doing? Oh yeah, fearless concurrency. I'm actually, no, I should call it fearful concurrency. Fearful concurrency in Rust. There's a lot of fear involved. Yeah, good times. Yeah, so we've been writing a bunch of data structures, which has been fun. And today I was just gonna write a queue because I did this in the last few days. Millions of dollars of inventory at risk. That's hilarious. Okay, I got hot. Wow, I actually took my sweater off without standing up. I have commented before that I'm not athletic enough to do that. I guess my athleticism is increasing the more that I write code. The more that I write Rust, I mean. Okay. Hope to shit on this project. There's a lot to shit on, no doubt. If you're talking about my actual project, yes. Yeah, developers are known for their athleticism. Very true. Yeah, so we finished our DublyLinkedList using an RC ref cell. It was pretty painful at the beginning. But then, you know, we got to it. And I was like, okay, we implemented our DublyLinkedList. Now we can easily implement a queue. And I was right, because it was kind of too simply, easily done with, like, you know, whatever that is, 20 lines of code or so. So now we're just looking into some thread safety. Because the part that I don't understand about thread safety in Rust is, like, they say there's these few types that are not thread safe. And then, yeah. I mean, I almost took the deep dive into Haskell. Well, I did take the deep dive in the sense that, like, I went through the book Haskell from First Principles, something like that. Haskell Programming from First Principles, one of those. Chris Allen's book. I don't know. This was years ago. And I did a study group. This was in the before time. In the before time, I did a Haskell study group in the land of enchantment of New Mexico, where I used to live. And I did not get a PhD. So I thought maybe I would get, like, one of those, like, gifted PhDs just for doing a Haskell study group, but nope. Yeah, we were actually, I didn't even go to school in NM. I was just there. I was there. I'm old, man. This is only 5 years ago. You know, I'm 38. Yeah, it's pretty good. I actually knew Chris personally, well, through the Haskell thing back then, 5-6 years ago. Why would you go to NM without a reason? It's so funny. The real answer to that is like, worked remote for the last 10 years or so, and we've lived in the South for so long, like the Southeast. For those who are not here in the US, we just call it the South. That's where the country people are. And we've been in humidity for so long that we were like, God, we need something different. And that, if you don't want humidity, New Mexico is a good place to be. So yeah, we lived in the mountains north of Albuquerque for 3 years. It was pretty awesome, actually. I mean, I loved it, but it's pretty crazy. Pseudo, please. Hey, how's it going, Pseudo? Thanks for the raid. Hi, guys. Geo, Lord Otterton, welcome. We were just talking about New Mexico. It wasn't super exciting, but yeah, we're doing some fearful concurrency in Rust and some data structures. We mostly have done the data structures, well, not all of them, but yeah, I finished one already today. So I was just gonna kind of like look into some things I've been wondering about concurrency in Rust. Is there anybody that's like a 9 out of 10 in Rust? Come on, chat. Come on. Just absolutely boast about your Rust skills right now, because there are things that I don't understand. Did somebody just say a 0.9 out of 10? Classic 0.9. You're a JS 9 but a Rust 4. Man, I feel that. I'm actually kind of like a Knoxville. I'm a Knoxville 9 but a New York 4. So I feel what you're saying, PM Walls. Classic. Audio is working now. Hi, MetaMe. Oh, cool. Well, thanks, Gio, for the recommendation. Yeah, the stream is going well. We implemented this really simple queue today. The main reason it was simple is because in the last 3 streams we implemented a DubLinkedList. So that's kind of that. You're playing with the CRUD TS, CRUD TS package. Complex microservices in the cloud. Man, who doesn't want complex microservices in the cloud? Besides everyone. Everyone wants them and everyone doesn't. All at the same time. CRDT. Yeah, I figured that's how you said it. I was just being an idiot, Gio. That's cool. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I feel that we've got all sorts of microservices at my work. Bunch of closure running. We do the closure at work. This is not closure. When I was starting today, though, I opened a file and gave it a CLJ extension and then just started writing closure. So that was fun, just because I was doing the context switch thing. So that was cool. So yeah, we did this queue. Hail Rich Hickey. I know. I kind of like hate and love Rich Hickey. I think he's obviously great, smart dude. And then some of his talks and some of his takes on Haskell do kind of like kill me though. But also I was pretty dogmatic about Haskell like when I was in that community 5 years ago. So that could have also like colored my experience. I mean, who knows if we're actually doing concurrency in Disney? I haven't actually done anything yet. Which is part of the title. It's fearful concurrency in Rust. Yeah, exactly, Pick. I don't know. He just says some really dumb things, and of course, being being in Clojure, of course, like full time, the hero worship in Clojure is strong. So there's definitely that part as well. And that's probably just makes me hate him more. It's just because everybody's like, oh, Rich Hickey's, he's probably the smartest guy right now in languages. But yeah, I don't know. It's pretty funny. Yeah, I could see being dogmatic as a language creator, but I mean, as you know, Indisneer, what about the Elixir dude? Jose just seems to be like, what is it, Jose Valim or something like that, right? He's just like, yeah, let's look into types. Let's do it, you know? I don't know. Yeah, he seems to be an exception. He felt exceptional when he first came out of the womb. No, when he first came out with Elixir, I felt like he was pretty exceptional. Yeah, very curious person. So yeah, I really like, I mean, I think watching Rich Hickey talks can be really, really good. He has a lot of good takes and some bad takes. He added some more machine learning pretty much because it interests him. Yeah, it's fun. It's fun when you have, you know, I don't know, trying all sorts of different things. So yeah, is there any data structure that people want to see that I've done so far? I guess I can give you a quick tour since we have some new people. The first thing we did is an array list. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair, Lord. I mean, it's basically like a graph. I haven't done it yet. I need to do it. I haven't done it yet. That's why we're going into FIFO concurrency right now. No, it's actually just because I hadn't really thought about the next data structure I want to do, and if I just do it on stream, I'm going to probably sweat even more than I usually do. A graph. You tried it in Rust in Advent of Code? Yeah. Thread safe data. Yeah, I mean, Rust is supposed to make it kind of easy, but who knows? That's kind of what I wanted to like play with. Okay, let's just do a, I am planning on doing a tree or try, depending on the dogmatic person that wants to pronounce it. But yeah, we're definitely going to get into trees. I'm probably getting into trees next. Hey, Dylan. Thanks for coming. Thanks for coming in. We're just hanging out here. Pretending that we're going to do some concurrency. You like the tries? I like calling it try just because it at least, like, I know Prime's like, it's not a try. That's my Prime impression. How good is it? No, I'm just kidding. But like, I like calling it a try because, well, it sounds different than tree. So even if it's pronounced tree, like, we might as well call it something else so that we actually know what the fuck we're talking about. It's funny. Yeah, you can call it a prefix tree, right? Yeah, but who wants to do that? It's more words. The metagen. That's funny. Okay, quick tour. I've done this one before. Hopefully this doesn't bore everybody to death. But yeah, we started with an array list. It was the very first data structure I did. I used a vec underneath, and that's kind of lame because... exactly, Dylan, exactly. It's kind of lame because a vec is an array list, but it's kind of like if you've looked at Prime's data structure course, it's kind of like if you were to implement an array list using a JavaScript array, which is also an array list, basically. So this was more just to like get a taste for how this was going to go. It still took me way too long to do this, but you know, basic array list. We did this whole interface up here, inspired by TypeScript. No, it's just, that was the interface Prime did in his course, so it was just easy. Teeny, did you make it home safely, Teeny? I'm guessing you did. Or you just got on your phone to say unwrap. So that was our array list. it was fine. All this stuff's on GitHub, by the way, because who doesn't want to read newbie oh my god. Here we go. We can talk. Brains catching up. Newbie Rust code on GitHub. All right. So we did array list, and then I felt pretty bad about array list, so that's when I went into stack, because the whole reason I couldn't really do an array list the right way is because using safe Rust, you can't have a raw mutable pointer. You can't do anything with a raw mutable pointer in safe Rust. It's just a 5-minute walk. You made a big deal about leaving Teeny, and it was a 5-minute walk. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, that'd be good. I mean, and then we'd solve the mono repo, the inevitable mono repo of Rust code and OCaml code. Yeah, a 5-minute walk is probably an adventure wherever it is that Teeny lives. No doubt. So this was our stack. First time I wrote unsafe Rust. And you know, it went pretty good. We used Bery to make sure that we didn't have any memory leaks. We also used Vanguard, which was like so-so. It was cool to use. Bery, I liked it better because it said I had 0 memory leaks. Where Vanguard said, well, you might. But I think that's just like cargo test. Yeah, we did end as near. Okay, if you would have just been here. If you would have been here to see when I was implementing this stack and the array list, you would have seen that we looked at the standard libs implementation of vect, you know? No, we really did go over it a little bit. I'm just messing with you. So yeah, that was stack. There is a vec here. This was our reference because this is from Rustonomicon, and this is still not how you actually implement vec in the. It's close-ish to how they do it in the standard library, but they actually abstract out the whole like array list part of vec into a raw vec in standard lib. In the stud. So we did array list, then we did stack, and then what did we do? Oh right, then we started our linked list. So we did a singly linked list using a box, and that was pretty easy. I mean, it took me a long time, but it was pretty easy. It wasn't bad. By the end of it, I definitely felt like this is something that I could actually whiteboard, which I did not expect to feel about any Rust data structure being something that I could whiteboard. But I could actually whiteboard a linked list in Rust. I know I could do it in another language, but hey, thanks for the follow pick. I don't know if I actually said that. No, I probably did. So that was linked list, singly linked list. We used a box, and then we got to doubly linked list, and we couldn't use a box because we had more than one reference. And so a box is fine if we have one reference. When you have more than one reference, multiple references, you have to use a reference counting pointer, and that's when we got into the RC. And if we wanted to make it thread safe, we would have to use arc. Now today I just added this little thing just to prove that even though I know this isn't thread safe because I'm using RC under the hood, I could still impl send and sync here. Now the only way this makes sense to me from a compiler perspective is that, let me think about this. Because I don't have any public fields that are RCs, then maybe it's like, okay, maybe this guy implemented his own locking strategy that you would just use arc usually for in order to do this. But I didn't. So I don't know. I'm pretty sure this is going to compile even if I save this. I think because it's unsafe, can't leak private type. What do you mean? Oh, is it because I new typed it? All right, let's just try this. No, this is just gonna annoy the shit out of me, I bet. Alright. Because then I have to change all this shit. Alright, let's just... RC new 5. Sure. Yeah, it still lets me. That's what I was... That was my proof. We proved something today, and that's that the Rust compiler sucks. No, I'm just kidding. It's basically just weird to me that I could do this in some way, even though the compiler knows I'm using RC. But okay, again, it's an unsafe trait, so I guess it's, again, you know, unsafe. Trust me, bro. This is how it works. Here's a link. Here's a link in Disney to how they do this. It is in a video somewhere where we kind of look at it a little bit, but yeah. We haven't quite got there, Teeny. I got a raid and then I just kind of talked about stuff for a while and people distracted me as usual. No. I didn't give Sudo a shout out. I'm sorry, Sudo. What a bad person. If you don't follow Sudo, you probably should. I don't think I follow Sudo. I'm sorry, Sudo. I just followed you. I fixed that. I fixed that right now. All right. There's the shout out to Sudo. And it's called Twitch affiliate and is near. Sweet. Yeah, I totally spaced. What were you guys working on? I don't know. Sudo might have already left, but you know, what in the world, Lord Otterton? That is very, very kind of you. Thank you so much. You guys are doing some Golang. Okay. I've seen Sudo like on other streams before, like in chat, but I don't think I'd ever actually seen his stream. Sick. Awesome. Very cool. Very cool. So yeah, it makes sense that the compiler, again, I'm saying this is like send and sync are both unsafe traits, so it's like the compiler's like, yeah, okay, yeah, I'm gonna let you do this, even though, you know, and I'm not gonna verify that these are actually thread safe types, because there's not exactly a way that it can, right? And it's also not a goal of the Rust compiler. Like it's a goal to prevent data races, but you know, obviously, like, there's not like an easy, reasonable way to prevent whatever. Dude, I can't remember what it's called. Standard thread race conditions, concurrent races. There's a fucking word for it, and I just can't remember what it is right now. Classic me. Cool. So we have, so what was I doing? Oh yeah, and then so we did the DoublyLinkedList, and then today I implemented a queue. And I think I already talked about that. But yeah, I did implement a queue in Disney. I think you got here a little bit later. Right. Yeah, exactly, Geo. Yeah. So it's kind of like any of this goes unchecked, right? So I get that. It just feels it scares me that I can just like pretend that something is safe on a thread and it's not really, but I mean that's what people do anyway. Wow. Excuse me. Most of the time. Good times. So this was our queue and is near. Yeah, we have actually gone through most of the basic DSAs. I am kind of thinking that tree is probably next, like probably a binary tree. Yeah, it's trust me, bro. Unsafe is trust me, bro. Absolutely. Yeah, I mean that's the point of unsafe. But I don't know. Again, it's not like I've read the book I didn't read the Fearless Concurrency book, so I probably would feel different about it if I did. if I read a book. Good times. So this was our queue. I do think we're done with kind of the basic data structures. Oh yeah, that's right. I actually probably want to do an array buffer before I move on to trees. So I think that's what I'm going to do next, is an array buffer. So if you want to see an array buffer written in Rust and you're not following this stream, go ahead and hit that follow button. We'll do some array buffers, possibly as early as Sunday. So that'll be cool. Array buffer, ring buffer, you know, that thing. Cool. So let's see if we can, I don't know if this is going to work. And that's what I started to say, is I don't know. It says file not included in module tree, but it's a test. Like, of course it's not included in module tree. Am I just not doing this right? Am I supposed to do, when I put a test in a test directory, am I supposed to do something different than this? That's what I'm wondering. Okay. Let me just look real quick. In a project that I know has this basic, you still have to include it in the module tree? Okay. Oh, you're right. I've seen that. So like I'd go into my librs and I would say something like config test, right? And then I would say mod, I'd already forgot what the fuck I called it, thread tests. Does that work? No? Does that know how you do it? Okay. Okay. Whatever. All right, I'm gonna go back to looking at the project that I was thinking about that I know has this. So yeah, before I started working on data structures, I contributed to the Atomic Server project, Atomic Data. You got one of those ads that appear to the side, but it didn't interrupt my stream. Thanks for letting me know. I still don't know how ads work on Twitch, really. Like, I've tried to not enable them at this point, but I know pre-rolls still happen, so I don't really know how it works. So anyway, what was I looking at? Oh yeah, so I contributed a PR to this project. Yeah, let me get that 2 cents, baby. All right. Okay, that's what I thought. It's just like this, but then how do they include it in source? Like, here's the lib. It's just mod tests. Maybe that's what it is. Let's try that. Nope. Still doesn't like it. It didn't interrupt you. Okay. Hey, Vivax, what's up? Vivax, why isn't this working? Why when I put a test into tests, I mean, this is a lib. Is that the problem? Like, I have a test in, oh, fuck, yeah. Sorry. Thank you. Yeah, Vivax knows. He's been around. Is it the cargo.toml that I need to do? Maybe that's it, Gio. Well, I don't actually need this one. I don't need this one. But we can just call it that. I don't think I hit right. Okay, but then this still has a problem. Do you understand what I'm asking? I have a test in the test directory on my project, like here. And it's not working for me to be here. You don't need a mod for those. So I just can delete this. Then why does it say this on this file? File not included in a... Is that... It's just gonna say that? It's just because my lints are stupid because I'm still using defaults instead of the ones you sent me? Is that really what it is? Because I know it's picked up because I tried it. Test is a sibling to source, yeah. So it's just weird that I'm getting that lint. No, it's not in source. No, not a psychopath. Okay. So I'm doing it right, but it's just my lint is stupid, right? Okay. So unlinked file. So I'm just going to ignore that, I guess. I forgot what it's called. Yeah, they're ran. Everything's working. I hate squigglies and I can't move on until I get rid of them. I already forgot what it's called. Allow. What is it called again? Unlinked file. You think it's my LSP being funky? I wouldn't be surprised. I didn't do it right. It's a dash. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, it is. What? You don't like this either? What the fuck? Really? Rust analyzer, unlinked file. Okay, forget it. It's just gonna be what it is. Hate it. Hate it. But that's okay. Okay, so we have our thread test. So the idea is let's test some of these data structures from a thread perspective, try moving them to a new thread and see how that works. Now, of course, it's not easy to simulate. Well, maybe it is easy to some people. It's not immediately obvious to me how I would simulate a race condition to prove that something's not thread safe. But I was mostly interested in understanding, not necessarily to prove that something wasn't thread safe, as much as understanding what Rust would and wouldn't let me do. So that was kind of what I was thinking. I don't know if that makes sense. Let me take out my my send and sync impulse that I added to things. I think I just added it to linked list. Tried a SQL comment syntax. Maybe try using nvim instead. Classic nvim stan. Rough. That's rough. You know that we use. You know that we use this here. You know how it goes. Okay. I don't remember the code to do this. Spawn 2 threads and try to mutate the same variable in both threads. That's a reasonable idea, right? I don't remember anything about this, so let's just ask ChatGPT how to do this. I was reading about it this morning, but I do not remember the actual code for it. Really? OBS? Did you just die on me? Oh my god. I mean, OBS itself didn't die, but it loves to fuck up my keyboard shortcuts. And now I have to manually switch scenes, which is annoying. Okay, here we go. How do I move a value into a new thread? When I talk to AI, I have to talk monotone apparently. Use a monotone voice. Okay, stood thread spawn. Okay. Stood thread spawn, move, ba ba ba. Cool. Okay, that we can do. Still unbelievable. Freaking MacBook. I should do like an animated emote of like, I mean, I don't know if it'd get it approved, but like lighting a MacBook on fire or just like an exploding MacBook. That would make me happy. I've been trying to think about that. Oh yeah, by the way, the battery issue. This isn't going to be surprising to anybody else. But, I mean, I thought it was possible it was just my battery. Literally just couldn't stay charged well. Yeah, that's because you have an Apple silicone. I'm not talking to you. I'm not talking to you, Dylan. Okay? Intel-based MacBook. Absolute trash. I mean, it was great 5 years ago. It still wasn't good. But it was great for a free system. Wow. Wow, did you really just call me that, Indisneer? Did you really call me the M word? The last time someone did that, I timed them out. It was Rond, and it deleted 70 of his messages, and I felt really bad. You can call me by my real name, but... Oh, okay. That makes a lot more sense. I just got triggered by a typo. Man, talk about a snowflake. Talk about a snowflake right here. Got triggered by a typo. You can call me Michael if you want to. Just don't call me the thing that other guy accidentally said. Yep. Classic boomer snowflake. What are we writing tests for? The reason I'm actually writing this in a test is because this is a lib. And so I would have Mikael. Yeah, exactly. Another one of those. Another one of those. Right. This, if this was like I just ended this project as a lib instead of a bin, and so otherwise I would just do this in a main. But figured I might as well do this. Yeah, this is true. This is true, Dylan. That's why you gotta like really own the 30-year-old thing. You gotta really own it. All right. I mean, at least you weren't born this millennium, you know. No, Dylan's nice. I don't think he's ever blocked anybody. I mean, we were close to blocking that one troll that one time, but that was about it. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. What was that troll's name? Swalker? Was it Swalker? I'm just kidding. Okay. You almost got... Oh, yeah. I remember that. It's funny. Yeah. That can happen without doing anything crazy. Okay, so let's do this. Not that. That was the wrong thing. I meant to do capital O. All right. I think what I can do here is use crate. It's kind of an annoying interface. Is it bad to do this in this kind of test file? Can I just do that? I don't know if I can. We'll find out. But that won't give me access to everything I want necessarily. Let's see. Let's see. How did I do this in... I wrote a test. I wrote a test this one time in Atomic Server. And I'm trying to remember how I did it. No, that's not it. Where did it go? Where did my test go that I wrote? There it is. Should we just look at my beautiful PR? Oh god, I don't have... My keyboard shortcuts aren't working, so I'm not going to switch this because it'll take longer than me just finding this stupid test to remember how I did this. Classic. Tests. Superstar. Crate. No, I did do it from crate. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. No, I didn't want to. I didn't want to. I should have, but I didn't want to. Okay, so let's start by taking in our stack as an example. And our stack, we're pretty darn sure is thread safe. It should be. Yeah, keyboard shortcuts. They've been very unreliable. What's annoying is it's like it works at the beginning of my stream and then my system gets into some state. I don't know if it's actually like it gets bogged down and then keyboard shortcuts for OBS just stop working. I'm not sure exactly what it is. Count to the scene command, that would be funny. I probably should. It's easy to do. What do you mean? You can't find stack here? Could not find stack in the crate root. Okay. This is not how you do this? Oh, interesting. Oh, so they have their tests in source for Atomic Server. That's why it's different. So how am I supposed to actually import things for like this sort of integration test thing? How do I do this, guys? Why aren't you telling me? Wrong scene. All right. How do I import in a file, and how do I import from a source /mod into tests /test.rs? Macro mouse clicks to each scene. Oh, that's not a bad idea. I wonder if that would work better. My project, my module. Okay. Assuming you have the following structure. Oh, so I just, instead of saying that, instead of create, I say rest DSA. Let's try that. I deleted the wrong thing. Classic. Okay. Still no? Module stack is private. That's true. So I have to go here. And let's see. We'll go up here. What do we want to do? Visual line, little 5J, and pub space. Wow. Look at that multiple cursor. Sweet. Okay. Unused import. That's what we want. It exists, but we're just not using it. Okay. Nice. I should remember these things, but let's just make sure we know what we're doing. We'll have our stack up. I'm on the right scene. We're good to go. So let's do a stack. Let's just continue on our usize thing, not do anything new. And we'll just start there. Then we'll add, what did I call it? Add? Oh yeah, I can just use my LSP. Forgot about that. I forget to use it because I don't actually use an LSP in general. Well, you suck. LSP, this is why I don't use an LSP. This isn't an Emacs problem. It's everybody else's problem. Okay. It probably is an Emacs problem. Let's be real. It's probably just that I didn't do this right. What did I call it? Push and pop. That's reasonable. Language server protocol? Believe? Is that right? Yeah. Thanks. Thanks, Deanie. Okay. So yeah, let's just push some elements onto here. Let's see, I don't have it signed, so I have to stay positive. Stay positive, guys. Okay. What don't you like about this? Oh, it might help, just maybe, if I remember to declare things as mutable before I mutate them. Okay, so now we're going to try moving this onto a new thread and see what happens. Really? Okay. No. Oh yeah, I forgot. It's above. Thread, stood thread. Okay. So then we want to use stood thread, and we want to do a thread spawn. I was just about to apologize, but then I just wanted Teeny to hold on to his channel points. Just gonna say this probably isn't very exciting. And I'm sorry about it. See, I had to say it. Semicolon line 1. Do I have a semicolon on line 1? I did before. Wrong chat. No, I really did have a semicolon in line 1, and then I fixed it. So you could have been right. Wow. You're code reviewing for a friend. That's funny. I just thought maybe you were like watching this at like an extreme delay, but you know, it happens. Oh no, my mic is now in the camera. Ugh, just the pop filter actually. Okay. Anyway. So now we're moving this. It's spelled different, okay? It's spelled different. It's just like, who the fuck do people think they are that they're going to like read my name on something and it says Michael, and then they're just like, oh, hey, Mike. And I'm just like, you don't know me. Why are you saying, like, why would you just change my name? Anyway, sorry. Classic me. Getting mad about dumb things. Okay. That was good. Teeny. Yeah. I mean, do you know a Richard that's not a dick, though? I mean, no, I'm kidding, Jacob Coates. Yeah, it's a great point. It's a great point. Yeah. All Richards are dicks. Love it. Good times. Yeah, that's what I feel like. I don't know. Like, I've done it once or twice in my life, and I was just like, oh, I can't believe I did that to somebody else. But, you know, that's okay. I'm growing as a person. So what are we gonna do? We created a new thing here, and we're going to mutate some data. So let's try pushing 11 here, and then wait for the spawned. Yeah, okay. And then we're gonna say handle 2 equals thread spawn move s.pop. Let's do something like that, and we'll just print line. I can't remember if do we have debug or display on for our stack? I can't remember. I think we do. I think we might have debug. No, we don't. Oh, right. I'm not printing the stack. It doesn't matter. I'm just printing the element that I just got off. So as long as T has debug, which obviously usize does. Then okay. How's this look? Hey, ModProg, what's up? Thanks for coming in. Does usize not implement display by default? It seems surprising. Yeah, guess not. Okay, I know this isn't going to compile for reasons, but we're just moving on, even though I know this isn't going to work, but that's fine. And then we just have to unwrap our threads. Yeah, we're just playing around modprog with some of our concurrent, yeah, lots of unwraps, nice. Some concurrency stuff, just with these data structures, just because I don't completely understand it, so I might as well learn it, right? So yeah, I know I'm moving it and then I'm referencing it after, and obviously that's not ideal. What I probably should do, actually I should probably just derive, maybe I should just derive stud format debug for stack so we can just print it all out here. Because it will only do it for, I don't have to have, come on, I know how to do this, right? Don't I? Derive, stud, format, debug. Can I use that syntax here? I've never actually done it before. Apparently. Okay. So this is fine. And then we're just going to print it out here just for fun and do something with S down here. What are we going to do? I guess we can do the whole, let's just print one of our stack. It's not anything exciting, but that's okay. The debug one? Or which one are you talking about? Oh, the derive. Yeah, right. Yeah. Or the debug. Yeah. Right. No, I was actually referring to a different one, but I just realized the one you're referring to. And I'm glad we had this conversation. Okay. Yeah. I figured it out. Thanks. Yeah, it's good. I don't have to do a use above. It works for now. Cool. So this looks fine, except of course there's several problems with it, and that of course is that I'm moving several things into these threads, and that doesn't make sense. So I actually don't know how to make this part work. Here I need a mutable reference. So I'm guessing I can say as mute here. I mean, I declared it as mutable, so I don't know. Maybe I don't need to do that. Oh, really? That's good to know, modprog. Thanks. Yeah. It's interesting, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, it's ugly. I mean, obviously it would be nice if I just implemented iterator like we talked about, but c'est la vie, as the French say. Okay, what am I doing wrong here? I guess I should actually build this and let the compiler tell me what I'm doing wrong. I mean, I know it's that I'm moving things around. Oh, I need to do a test build. Let's just pretend we're running tests. Okay. Let's start at the beginning. Make sure... God, that looks terrible on this theme. Why does that look so bad? It's unreadable. Who chose this? Who chose this theme? No, who chose this color here? It is so hard to read. I would have to change things. I don't want to have to change things. Let's do it in the terminal where we can actually read things. Okay. See this light blue here? That would have been nice. Are you sure it's thread safe for push? It should be, but I don't know. We'll find out, right? I mean, maybe we won't find out. I mean, in general, it should be safe for me to move it around, but I think I'd probably have to unwrap the thread here. I don't know how this works, so I'm probably just way in over my head as usual, but that's okay. Move occurs because S has type stack usize, which does not implement the copy trait. Yes, we get that. Value moved into closure here, variable moved due to use in closure. Use occurs due to use in closure. Are you going to tell me how I should fix this? No, of course not. Okay. Well, that's annoying. Why aren't you telling me how to fix it? Are you going to give me anything? Why is my LSP completely broken? How did this happen? Of course, the last time I said this, I was just pressing the wrong key, but no. I know it's completion at point. And it really just says no match. I have to figure this out later. The LSP thing. That's annoying. Okay. So we have this. What if I just say as ref? Obviously that doesn't work. Why doesn't as mute work? That's the part I don't understand. And then here I should be able to say as ref, but I can't have an immutable and mutable reference at the same time. I think I'm doing too many things at once. So let's comment out our handle 2 first and start with this. Okay. Okay. Method not found in stack usize. Oh right, because I didn't do the whole mute thing there. All right, 1 second. I got to do a quick message check. It's been a couple hours. All right, cool. Yeah, I have about 15 minutes left. Let's see where we can get here. Let's see if we can learn anything about this async Rust silliness. Fearful concurrency. Okay, so I understand I don't have this, but like why can't I just move like a mutable reference? Do I need to create it beforehand maybe? Like maybe that's what I need to do. Maybe I should just create it beforehand. And she was like, yes, I've been waiting for you to figure this out for so effing long. Okay. We'll say ref st. Let's call it a mute ref. Oh my god, what did I do? Classic move down. You were getting food. Come on, Geo. What's more important? Gotta get your priorities straight. So I should be able to do this, right? No. Is that... I could do that. I guess that works. I was thinking I would have to put mute on the other side and then I'd just do and s, but I guess this works too. Okay. Oh yeah. Okay. S does not live long enough. Mutable borrow occurs here, and then we move it. That's interesting. So why doesn't this live long enough? There. Do I need unsafe? I shouldn't need unsafe, right? How do I move a mutable reference into a new thread? Let me switch our scene and ask our senior Rust developer, a resident senior Rust developer, ChatGPT. Well, there it is. Arc new mutex. I don't want to use an arc. Oh, maybe that's what I have to do to have a mutable reference that's thread safe. I don't feel like that's exactly true. But maybe that is what you have to do. Okay. Okay. Clone the arc for the new thread. Okay, I mean, that makes sense. And then move. Lock the mutex to access and modify the data. Yeah. Engineer, you were not thinking that. I'm just kidding. You're probably right. Okay. So I guess that is what I need to do a mutation in another thread. But then there's still the fact that it's not actually... Let's just think about this for a second. So even if I wrap a unsafe, a non-thread safe value in an arc mutex, it doesn't make it thread safe. I think that's true. Now, if I just did what I'm doing here, oh, this is also mutable. Let's just try, okay. Let's forget about this for a second. Make sure that we know how to do anything at all. And is there any non-mutation things that I can do on stack? I can't remember my interface right now. Did I just do pop and push? That's all I did. Well, that's not very helpful, Michael. Why did you do it that way? Okay. Well, that doesn't teach us anything. Because I don't have any just readable things. All of them are mutated. So is there no other way to do this? Is there another way to do this? You can use the crossbeam crate. Okay, use a crate. Yeah, because that's what I meant. Okay, so it's basically arc mutex. Well, that doesn't help me at all. Let me just think about this. Is that true for even like a simple value? I mean, I guess. I swear there's like a really simple move a value thing that doesn't require any of that. Okay. I guess I'm wrong. It's definitely possible. Let's just do something like this. Let x equals 25. And then print line I always forget to write that first. And X. Okay. So obviously I can do this. That's fine. Okay. Now, if I want to say let X equal, no, let Y equals and mute X. Can I do that? Okay. And then does this actually work? Cannot borrow as mutable, right? Okay. Duh. Okay. And then down here, let's just that line. Goodness. Just so we use it later. Okay, lots of things hate us. But let's see. X does not live long enough. This is really annoying. Okay. Well, I don't know if we're learning anything. Like, I can keep going, but it's like I don't know if I'm actually learning anything here. I mean, I'm learning a lot of what doesn't work, which I mean is helpful in one way. Borrowed value does not live long enough. Argument requires that X is borrowed for static. X dropped here while still borrowed. Okay. So why would X be dropped? Cannot borrow X as immutable because it is also borrowed as mutable. But I would expect that Y would be dropped. Can't have borrow when there's a mutable ref. I get that part. But even if I get rid of this, it still doesn't like me, right? X dropped here while still borrowed. Argument requires that X is borrowed for static. Okay. And then I have to get into lifetimes and all sorts of other things, right? Okay. I think I'm missing some fundamental knowledge that I just don't have, right? So I think I probably am gonna have to read about some things in order to understand what I should actually try to test here. I thought I could get to it in a way that was more interesting, just kind of like screwing around, but obviously that didn't happen. Yeah, we can read this on stream. Sure. Let's read this, see if we want to change anything, and then go from there. All right. Let me click on my other scene. Unbelievable. Having to click on things. All right, that looks all right. Shared state concurrency. Let's do some reading. Message passing is a fine way of handling concurrency, but it's not the only one. Another method would be for multiple threads to access the same shared data. Consider this part of the slogan from the Go language documentation again. Ooh, no, just kidding. Do not communicate by sharing memory. Okay, look at that. Music's too loud. That's surprising. Sorry, I've heard this song too much recently. let's, yeah, while reading. Okay. ASMR reading voice, yeah. It's a good point. I should have like a reading setting for my music that's like lower. It's a good idea. All right. Remember this, chat. My VLC is supposed to be at negative 24.5 usually. But we're going to change it. We're going to turn it down to negative 30. Give it a 5 dB decrement. It's at negative 30.1. Okay. Is that better? Is that better for you guys? Let me know. Cool. What would communicating by sharing memory look like? In addition, why would message passing enthusiasts caution not to use memory sharing? In a way, channels in any programming language are similar to single ownership, because once you transfer a value down a channel, you should no longer use that value. Shared memory concurrency is like multiple ownership. Multiple threads can access the same memory location at the same time. As you saw in chapter 15, which of course we didn't because it's not like we're reading the book. You know, we're not actually reading the whole book here. Where smart pointers made multiple ownership possible, at least I know how that works. Multiple ownership can add complexity because these different owners need managing. Rust type system and ownership rules greatly assist in getting this management correct. For an example, let's look at mutexes, one of the more common concurrency primitives for shared memory. Okay. We know about mutexes a little bit. I've never actually used them outside of like play code, but let's see. Mutex is an abbreviation for mutual exclusion, as in a mutex allows only one thread to access some data at any given time. To access the data in a mutex, a thread must first signal that it wants access by asking to acquire the mutex's lock. The lock is a data structure that is part of the mutex that keeps track of who currently has exclusive access to the data. Therefore, the mutex is described as guarding the data it holds via the locking system. I actually was thinking about like maybe changing my queue implementation to just like be a linked list under the hood, but like a custom linked list, not using the other one. And then just like doing it with a mutex just to understand them, kind of like I did with RC ref cell. I need some water, hold on. Therefore, the mutex is described as guarding the data it holds via the locking system. Mutexes have a reputation for being difficult to use because you have to remember two rules. You must attempt to acquire the lock before using the data. When you're done with the data that the mutex guards, you must unlock the data so other threads can acquire the lock. For a real-world metaphor for a mutex, imagine a panel discussion at a conference with only one microphone. Before a panelist can speak, they have to ask or signal that they want to use the microphone. When they get the microphone, they can talk for as long as they want to, and then hand the microphone to the next panelist who requests to speak. This is like a little bit of... Never mind. If a panelist forgets to hand the microphone off when they're finished with it, no one else is able to speak. If management of the shared microphone goes wrong, the panel won't work as planned. Classic Rust Foundation panels not working. No, I'm just kidding. Management of mutexes can be incredibly tricky to get right, which is why so many people are enthusiastic about channels. However, thanks to Rust's type system and ownership rules, you can't get locking and unlocking wrong. Okay, cool. Let's read some code. So we create a mutex. You're locking and unwrapping it. And then your deref to update that mutex. Okay. As with many types, we create a mutex using the associated function new. To access the data inside the mutex, we use the lock method to acquire the lock. This call will block the current thread, so it can't do any work until it's our turn to have the lock. The call to lock would fail if another thread holding the lock panicked. In that case, no one would ever be able to get the lock, so we've chosen to unwrap and have this thread panic if we're in that situation. After we've acquired the lock, we can treat the return value, named num in this case, as a mutable reference to the data inside. The type system ensures that we acquire a lock before using the value in M. The type of M is mutex I32, not I32, so we must call lock to be able to use the I32 value. We can't forget. Yeah, watch me. Watch me, Rust. No, I'm kidding. Okay, cool. So yeah, basically, mutex is a smart pointer. Let's see, I can't read this whole thing right now. My voice will give out before I can do that. So it changes the inner value even in that single-threaded scenario. Let's look at the multi-threaded example. It seems a lot more interesting. Okay, cool. So basic for loop, update the mutex, the inner value, and okay, then they're just adding it to a new vec or whatever. Yeah, okay. Just to show that they did it. Mm-hmm. Oh, this doesn't compile. I was like, this code looks great. I don't see a problem here. That's what happens when you don't actually read everything and you just like kind of skim things. You're just like, this is great code, I'm going to use this. Okay. It doesn't compile because we're moving counter, right? So you'd have to create a new RC clone, right? Not an RC clone. Well, I guess you'd have to use an arc, right? This is funny. I bet they're going to start talking about RC or arc. Yeah, okay. Like debugging the code when it's literally the next section. This is why I can't read the book. Because this is what I do. I was like, oh, you know? Oh, God. Such a goober sometimes. We gave a value multipliable owners by using RC. And then this is going to clone the RC before pushing it in here. Okay, so they do actually warn you if you're putting an RC into a new thread. I was wondering about that. Okay. Let's see. Let's see. They're only adding the handles to the vec. Yeah. Uh-huh. So they warn you if you try to move an RC. Okay. Impl send on stack. It already is impl. That's the part, like, so I didn't even get that. Yeah, that error message is wild. Let's just enjoy that for a while. Where's the X? Where is the X? All right. I already have stack open in my code. I know I'm not showing you guys it. Yeah, I already have sentence. I was just making sure I didn't like delete it from the wrong place. And we should have gotten an error if we couldn't actually move the stack between threads. Yeah, this is true. Did I do that? You're probably remembering something I actually did when we were doing Haskell together. Okay, let's just finish this. We're going to skim it. My voice isn't going to let me read too much longer. Yeah, I think I do need a mutex stack, Geo. I think you're right. I'm just annoyed that I need it. I mean, I get why I do. I'm still annoyed with it though. We're able to share ownership across multiple threads. Okay. That's hilarious. We did it. We counted from 0 to 10. That's awesome. That's hilarious. Good times. Let's see. I've got 5 minutes left. Let's see what we can do in 5 minutes. How can we... Let's just start with our stupidly simple example here, which is this. How can we move this X to a new thread? All we're doing is moving a number. I don't even care about it being mutable. But okay, let's start with a... Okay, so instead of let y equals mutable reference to x, let's say mutex new x. Okay. Yeah, I know I didn't get you. What is it? Stood sync? Okay. I shouldn't have any immutable... Oh my god, what am I doing? Stood sync x. I was reading two different things. Oh my god. I'm so dumb sometimes. Okay. Yeah, so I have to do a reference to x, right? So if I have a ref to x, it's better than when I started writing closure at the beginning of the stream, right? Well, I don't know, at least I was writing valid syntax in one language, even if it wasn't the right language. Okay. I know variable does not need to be mutable. Okay, sure. Let's see what you're saying. X does not live long enough. Okay. Since I'm not using X anywhere else, can I just move it into the mutex? I can. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, Rust compiler would not be happy with Clojure. Well, I actually created an actual Clojure file and everything. It's very impressive. All right, let's run it in the terminal because, as we know, I can't get standard out there. What is it again? Cargo test. Oh no. What is it called? Don't know. Ah, shit. I don't remember. I never remember this. No something. Oh well. Why don't I ever remember this? C stood out and no, C print and cargo test. We just did this. You figured out your functor problem? Dude, you realize we're not on DMs right now, DM. You might not want to talk about that here. That's cool. No capture. That's what it is. I don't have any cool functor things because we don't talk about functors on this channel. Oh yeah, I have a stupid amount of print lines in this whole thing. Let's do cargo tests. What is our file called? Thread tests. Actually, it's our actual function name. Yeah. Okay, cargo tests. So you're happy with the interface you ended up with, Don? That's cool. PM Walls made an amazing PR. To what? To which project? Spotify or the other one? Oh, to the NeoVim stuff, right? Okay, cool, nice. So what do we end up with? We printed our Y, which is a mutex with data 25. Da da da. Okay, cool. All right. Well, this isn't as far as I thought we were gonna get with fearful concurrency, but you know, it is an important point. If you're fearful about something, it's hard to learn, you know? And something that a lot of teachers don't understand is that fear turns off the learning centers of the brain. So, you know, it's probably not the most effective method for controlling your students in your classroom, or controlling me for that matter. So what is my music supposed to be at? Negative 24.5. Well, it's at negative 24.4 now because I used the slider. Okay. Whatever. We moved a value into a new thread. It's not the worst thing ever. We could technically lock that value and update it if we wanted to next. So I guess the next thing is like, well, mutex. We can do this right now. I have enough time to change an X to an S. I would have even had a lot more time. Okay, yeah, but then I use it down here. Yeah, sorry about that. I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it, guys. Can I do this? No. Let's just comment that out. Okay, we'll just move it. Obviously we know it's not going to work we would need an RC or not. I mean, we would need an ARC. But yeah, I think multi-threading is hard and is near. I think that's a fair. That is a fair thing, a fair takeaway. Okay, there we go. We got our stack with our putter with a cap of 4 and a length of 3. Not the worst thing ever. Not bad. Let x equals 5, let t thread move, print line x, t dot join, unwrap. Yeah. Uh-huh. So that does work. Without a mutex. That's what I was wondering. So can I just... That was the... Like, why didn't it work for me? Because I was doing other things? Was I trying to do too many things at once? Because it implies copy? I don't know. Let's get rid of our X. It won't work across multiple threads. It consumes the value. I think that's what I think that was my problem. I think my problem was that I was trying to use this across multiple threads right off the bat, but I can't do that without ARC. But I can just move the actual value. I should be able to actually use the value. No, I can't. Oh, because it's not mutable. Here, let's just get rid of this. I should be able to because I'm actually moving it into this new thread. Yeah, it's fine. I just popped 10 off my stack. It works. Interesting. Okay, what time is it? There's one more thing I want to try. Now that we know that we can kind of do this easily. Can we pretend this is going to take 5 minutes? Now that I can do this easily, let's just chain. Okay, so we know we can do this. Can you return a val from a thread? I don't think that I can because it's moved into the thread. I don't think I can take it back out of the thread without something special, right? I actually don't know the answer to that question. Oh yeah, my LSP is like completely broken. It doesn't even give me docs anymore. It doesn't know anything that's happening right now. I just completely borked it. We can try an eagle-eye reconnect. Because if you pop from both threads, you don't know which thread will run first. Yeah, I figure you, like, I mean, I know it's the return value from join. Oh, really? Oh, you're right, because you just, so if I returned this, like, technically I could do this, right? Sorry. Oh, that's cool. Okay. And then here, if I wanted to, oh my God, what am I doing? If I wanted to, I could do that. Typing is hard, right? Hey, look at that, guys. Look at us. Look at us discovering things that most people probably already knew besides me, but that's okay. That's cool. So then I have ownership of that value from one thread back in. And so that's how you move things back into the thread you called it from. Yeah. Right? Pretty basic. Good to know. Again, I haven't messed with any of this. So yeah, it's pretty basic. Pretty basic. Okay. Until RC and mutex, yeah, right? Good times. I'm feeling pretty good about RC right now because of my double linked list implementation. I feel like I kind of understand that. I haven't dealt with the arc mutex stuff yet. So let's do this. What is it called? It's my DublyLinkedList that I know uses RC. Okay, LSP is back. I just had to restart it. LSP is back. Spoke too soon. Nope. Really? Nothing? Nothing? There we go. Thank you. It was totally not worth waiting for that. Okay. And then let's go ahead and just add something to it. Let's just do dl.pushFront 5, and then let's stud thread. Whoops, I don't need stud thread because I imported this thread. Thread spawn, move, and let's just say dl dot. Let's just start with this. Print line. No, that's not gonna work because I didn't do that. DL dot push back 10. DL dot pop front. We'll make that a print line. Okay, I messed up the move in the pipe. Nice. Okay, cool. Let's see if they give me the error that I was hoping. Yes. That's good. That makes me feel better. That makes me feel better. So it's not even saying that the So here's the thing. You don't even have to impl send and sync for a lot of things. It'll just like kind of assume that it's fine. But because we have this RC ref cell business, it's saying, no, really, it's not fine. It's not okay. Don't use it. So at least, you know, again, if we're using unsafe, we're using like something we did, then it's like, it's not going to be able to be thread safe, right? And we knew that when we were going into it. But yeah, exactly. So that's why, yeah, you might want multiple implementations, right? Because as far as I understand it, Arc and Mutex is even slower and more heavyweight, right, than RC and RefSal. I don't know. Pretty cool. This is actually what I wanted to get to today. So even though I felt like I was not making a lot of progress, I finally got to what I wanted to get to, which was we kind of showed that Rust would not allow us to move this linked list data structure into a new thread because we're using RC or FSL under the, well, let's just say RC under the hood. And that's kind of what I was hoping to show myself. So that makes me feel good. And we finished our queue, not like that was hard. And I think next time we're going to jump into, what did I say? Oh, I was excited about doing a binary tree. I think we might, I'm not sure yet. We're either going to do a binary tree or a ring buffer. So anybody care between the two? Anybody like, I really want you to do this? Yeah, C lets you do anything without a care in the world. But yeah, I think that's what's next. Most likely on Sunday, unless, you know, I really need the day off. I'm not sure. I'll have the day off tomorrow at least. Yeah, I'm excited to do the array buffer. I'm always kind of like, I think it's a really, really cool data structure. It's very fun. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna do a binary tree anyway, but I think a ring buffer will be a lot of fun. And it'll be interesting to see. I mean, I have a pretty good idea of how it's going to work, but we're probably just going to, we have a couple options. We can either extend our raw vec out into its own abstraction, or we can just do like a fresh, brand new unsafe impl under the hood, but we're definitely going to have to use unsafe. So it's going to be cool. All right. Thanks so much for hanging out. Thanks for the raid again. To those who raided, thanks for the subs and the follows. If you want more ridiculousness, hit me up. Follow me. Do whatever. I imagine if you're still here, you're probably following. But yeah, thanks a lot, guys. I gotta go, but we'll just do a raid on Griff, and then, you know, but I'm probably not going to be there once we actually get in there. So let's raid Griff. It's been a little bit. I like this song. It's one of my favorites. It's just different. It's fun. It's like Tetris almost.